Good evening and salutations, my YNR fans. You know, let's just quickly talk about Audra. When she first came into town, she was kind of annoying, and then you see her hooking up with Tucker, and there's one point where it's just like, yeah, I know she's annoying, but she's incredibly hot. But now I'm at this point where it's like, I'm just starting to not care about the character as much. I'm really not, because this scene with her and Nate just shows a certain level of is the only way I could sit there and describe it. Nate isn't there praising her on her triumph, her success of being this business mogul and taking over Glastad, and I'm just like, is it really that much of a victory? Not to mention that for like the past couple of episodes, all she has done is brag about how she stole the company from Tucker. She's outmaneuvered him. I'm just like, okay, congratulations. You destroyed someone and you hurt someone that actually have feelings for you. You want a cookie? Like, I don't understand it at this point. It's like, one, I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing her brag about the same damn thing for about 4 or 5 episodes. That's just number one. Number two, now we're, oh, let's toast, let's celebrate. She was like, do we really have to? It's, I just, that's what half of her scene was. And even when she sat there and she kissed Nate, I was just like, I just like, I would rather just, at this point I was like, I would almost just, mm, I don't know what scenes is more annoying, her or Summer. I guess I'll click on her because at least she just looks better. But the sad part is that I care more about Summer, who I really dislike, more than I did about um Nate and Audra. Now, just to go into the Summer and Chance part, Summer, what the hell are you doing? You with this guy, the first thing that you do is when you come over, it's like, oh, I can't believe what's going on with Kyle. He made me so angry, and I'm so just fed up with him. I'm just like, how do you sit there and talk to the guy that you're dating about your ex and being so upset with your ex? You really think that that's what he wants to sit there and hear? You think that just even if he wasn't having a bad date, he wants to sit there and see you to make it better? Do you really think that's something that he wanted to hear? Now, after a while, she probably just read the room and wants to deal with see what was going on with him, which, of course, what's going on with him is just a lot of drama and politics in the office and him not trusting Billy. Um, but she has every right not to sit there and trust Billy. Um, Summer tries to get him to see the good side as far as being promoted and maybe that Billy does have some trust in you, but at this point, he's like, I don't know what he's doing. I feel like he's just using me. This whole thing is just going to go bad, right? And I think with the Summer, that was Smith saying like the company was doing so well, so why are we Smith there? Why are they Smith there splitting it up for? And I think just going into the Lily and Billy part, even Lily was like, the company is doing well. Now we're splitting them and we're essentially nearly starting from scratch again. Billy's like, oh, but Abby would be added to the last name. I'm like, bro, let me get this straight. You care more about the fact that you are changing the name of the company than you are about the company's success and the future of the company and the future of your employees. That's secondary. No, 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 no. We got to get the name up there because it's going to be a legacy to my mommy. Let me tell you something. She already paid her dues, and regardless if her name is up there or not, it's already going to be a legacy because of what she did for the company. That's the part that's just so stupid. And the fact that this infighting between Billy and Devon wound up being so bad, you had a bunch of grown ass men that act like a bunch of schoolgirls to the point where you broke up a successful company to make them mediocre and have to practically work just as hard to sit there and try to get them back on track. Because the two grown ass adults that couldn't put their personal feelings aside for the company. But now she's like, she's not really happy about the company. She's not really happy about the decision. She wasn't happy about the way that Joe reacted, and she's just having second thoughts. Billy tries to reassure her, but it gets to a point where he's like, "Okay, I see what this is. You've been playing me. You came into this. You decided to do this. It was too easy to sit there and get you on my side. Okay, so between that, the constant looks that you kept giving Devon asking you, "Are you sure you want this?" You've been playing me. You want to sit there and split up the company, and most likely you're gonna probably go back. And she's like, "What are you talking about? You're being delusional. You're being paranoid, and this, that, and the third." And he's like, "No, I'm not." And she storms off like she's all mad and stuff like that, but she know damn well that she's been found out. See, the thing about Billy is that Billy can be a real screw up, but he has his moments where he can be smart. And I think you underestimated him, you overestimated your ability to sit there and sell this plan. And the fact of the matter is, you went along with this plan, and it just I felt like she would have been better off just sticking by Devon's side, and just maybe fighting this whole splitting up the company. Um, well, actually, no, never mind. Devon wants to split it up too. So either way, it's just all just one giant cluster. Now, let's get to Kyle, aka Judas, because Michael Corinthos is not the only one that has lived up to the expectations of being called Judas. Kyle is just, oh my lord. So they grill him about working with Victor, and at first he plays along with it. He's like, "What are you talking about? I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about." But then he sits there. He starts playing victim, like, "Oh well, you're the ones that fired me, and this is my birthright." And the minute he says, "This is my birthright," it just shows the level of entitlement that he has. Okay, so he comes across as super entitled. He is super defensive. He's like, "Oh well, you backed her up. You backed up Diane," and then he decides to be a dick to his mom. Okay, and this is the part where I sit and I look at this scene, and I look at how everyone reacts to this scene. Because, since Diane has come back, she's bad, she's evil, she's trouble, blah, 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 blah. I hate Diane. Wah, 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 wah. So, he throws in her face when she abandoned him. Now, listen, that's a very terrible thing that she did, okay? I'm not excusing that. If you have been working to sit there and get past this, and the first time you get hurt, you decide you want to sit there and throw that in her face after you practically forgave her, you're just a shitty human being. There's no other way to sit there and put this. You're just a terrible human being. And so he throws it in her face, knowing that that would hurt her. He goes upstairs, he comes back down, and he's like, Me and Harrison are moving out. They try to beg him to stay, but his mind is pretty much made up. All they're basically they're doing is saying Victor is not somebody who can be trusted. And Kyle takes that as, "Oh, are you sitting there saying I don't have what it takes? You sitting there saying that Victor can't sit there and pick me for my talents and this, that, and the third?" Kyle, you know damn well that you even said to Audra that maybe he's not there picking me to bring up this whole feud between him and my dad. So you knew damn well that both of them, including Diane, was right. But of course, you got to sit there and act like the victim, and you're willing to work with the devil because you felt like you didn't get what you deserve. But I see that people are going to be like, but Diane is bad and I can't stand Diane and Diane is terrible. And, I always sit there and I look at it with just going back to General Hospital. There's a lot of times I don't like Nina. Nina has done some, and I mean Nina Reeves on General Hospital. Nina has done some very dingbat shit. But when Nina's right, Nina's right. Regardless of how I feel about her, she's right. And I just don't understand how people could sit there and look at a scene like that and still be like, yeah, Diane is showing her true colors. Diane did sit there and abandon him. We all know that. We all know the history. But that doesn't have anything to do with the fact that he would act like an entitled prick. Why are we sitting there coming so hard at Diane? And I know I'm going off on a tangent, but we're not calling Kyle out for the entitled prick that he is. I just sometimes it baffles me when I see a scene like this and I know how a lot of people are reacting. I'm not saying that you should react the way that I'm reacting, but I just don't understand how people will sit there and have so much of a target, so much of a hard on for Diane in this particular scene when Kyle is the one that's in the wrong. That's the part that just blows my mind. Um, Now after that's over, Jack had enough. He's like, I'm gonna contact Mustache. You know, when he calls Victor Mustache, you know it's serious. You know it's serious. Now a lot of people are sitting there looking at this whole another war between another war between Jack and Victor. I'm just so tired of it. I guess for me it's no, because I only been watching the show for about maybe 2 or 3 years. So for me, I'm just like, bring on a war. Bring it on. I want to sit there and see this. I understand how some people feel because they experienced it from whatever. But for me, this is new stuff. So I'm kind of excited to sit there and see where it goes. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else. But right in the comment section, or better yet, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk about all the shows: Young and Restless, Born and Beautiful, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives. I will see you in the next video.